All right. As a teacher, we often talk about how to get our kids to read. And all of us English teachers know that all the good literacy research says that there's a lot of value not only to reading fluency and engagement and vocabulary and all those other things, but also even to writing skills just by students doing what is called free voluntary reading. Reading stuff they want to read and reading it a lot, reading extensively. So this is a challenge that the internet and this particular service called Bloglines, it's one of many that are like it, but Bloglines is great, um, offer new possibilities for in the 21st century. And I'm going to show you how I read. I started doing Bloglines about a year ago. And in the beginning, I was a book person, a Gutenberg person, and I had my doubts about Bloglines. Things, reading off the internet, blah, 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 all that stuff. But at the same time, getting a laptop, for one thing, where I just sit with my laptop in bed just like I sit with a book in bed, carry it with me to coffee shops, whatever. That really changed my relationship to online reading. These days, I have to admit, I am more of a 21st century web reader than I am a 20th century book and magazine and newspaper reader. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, so this is Bloglines. What does Bloglines do? It subscribes to websites that you like based on interests that you have. I'm going to show you how, say, I'm going to pretend that I'm Jessica, one of my students. I know Jessica likes fashion design. So I'm going to do a search for websites on fashion design, preferably blogs, which are running journals, and they always have new updates every day, multiple ones. So I'm going to search for feeds, which means subscriptions, to a fashion design blog. You see, I just put it right there. I've clicked enter. And here we have the results for fashion design, searching for feeds, subscriptions to websites. So here, let's see, I could do fashion design news. Let's preview that feed and see what it looks like. A little feed preview shows that they have an article on 19th century fashion museum exhibit, how alpaca is both high fashion and rural fashion, and I guess the British Queen honoring fashion and so forth. So that might be something that Jessica, for example, would want to subscribe to. I'm gonna pretend that I'm Jessica and say, okay, I want that feed, so I'm gonna subscribe to it. I'm gonna click that subscribe to feed link, and here we have my options for, there it is, it's available feed subscription. So I'm gonna subscribe to the fashion design news, and I'm gonna put it in a new folder called, you got it, fashion. Click OK, and just go down and click subscribe. Now you will see the folder pop up over here on the left. There it is down there, fashion. So let's see. Now look at the entry here for fashion design news. In the parentheses right next to the title, you see the number 10. Now moving up a little bit, you see here science. I have a science folder because I read a lot about science. I have 223 unread new items, and then 39 here in the more subdued color are items that I have kept as new. I've already read them, but I like them, so I just clicked keep as new. I'll show you that. So let's see what Jessica would experience when she goes to fashion design news. Click on it, and you can see that these are the headlines or the titles of all of the latest unread articles or posts from that website. So I'm going to pretend I'm Jessica and say that in East Asia, Southeast Asia, since I'm in Korea and fashion in Korea is, or in Asia is something that I'm interested in, I'm going to keep this one as new. You see, keep new right there. let me show you what my feeds look like. You see I've got a lot of different folders here. Being a history and English teacher, I have my humanities folder. I can open up that folder and show you the things that I've subscribed to. I subscribe to Comedy Central videos. I subscribe to a website called Arts and Letters Daily. I subscribe to the satire website, The Onion. The cartoonist who illustrates and makes Dilbert, he's got a great blog. I read him. He's got a new post there. So here's the Dilbert blog. I don't have to go to his blog. It comes to me. I've subscribed to it. So I just clicked on it. Now let's see. Here is the Dilbert blog, and here is his first article, well, the only article by him I haven't read. Restroom automation. So the guy's writing a blog post about automatic bathrooms. And uh, I would definitely, if I were a kid who enjoyed potty humor and laughter, uh, want to read that. And now here, you see this is white up here, that's unread. But all these down here in the darker blue are ones that I have kept as new. Now, as you follow my cursor down here, you'll see that I've already checked that, keep new. So if I wanted to keep this one new, I would just go down and click keep new. Now you notice the Dilbert blog, because I've read it, has gone to 0 now. I also have a, let's see, I have an education feed that I subscribe to, or folder. Lots of education. I like this teacher's blog, the Whip blog. Now notice I've saved 2 of his things, so it's kind of a file cabinet too. So I'm going to click on that and see what he has to say today. His latest writing is about Libya's one laptop per child project. Okay, notice I've also got subscriptions to my own blog here. If anybody comments on my blog, I don't need to go there. I've subscribed to it. It comes to me here in this folder. And you can see, here's my blog being subscribed to. And notice 3 other people subscribed to it. For only a week's age, that's not bad. And notice it goes on and on. I've got a political folder. I've got a folder on Iraq that keeps me informed, on China, on Korea, on mainstream newspapers. For some of my students who I'm going to have doing this, one on comic books. When I was their age, I loved comic books. If my English teacher had said, read and write about comic books as an independent reading kind of thing, boy, I would have loved that. Here's the Comics Journal. Let's see what it has to say. Graphics Novel Journal. Looks good. Okay, so I hope you're seeing that by being able to freely and voluntarily choose as a student what you are going to be reading about, and then to agree to write about that on your own blog, makes the idea of free voluntary reading and writing more accessible, because I can go to the student's blog. Any of you can go to my Bloglines account and check out my folders. And I can read the same thing that the kid is reading. Okay, it's all online. Furthermore, you know, a history teacher could say you have to subscribe to a geography site. You have to subscribe, a science teacher could say, to a science site. And by the way, there's some fantastic science subscriptions. National Geographic, science blogs, the Planetary Society Daily, on and on. So at the end of a year of doing daily reading of this, article after article after article of stuff they like, they will have read so many millions of words more than if we just said, okay, read a book from the library and write a report on it. We'd have no way of knowing if they did. And also, and this is just as important, they'll develop an expertise. I am so much more well informed with these 112 subscriptions to daily self-chosen feeds than I would be if I subscribed to Time magazine every week or something like that. I read every day. It comes to me. I don't have to read them all. It saves them until I do read them. Okay, I hope you can see again that 21st century reading using feeds, by the way, you've heard of RSS or seen the little orange RSS symbol? All that means is subscribe, and it subscribes to things like this. They're called feed readers. Bloglines is a feed reader. Okay, it is a way to get kids reading things that they like, but also for the teacher to be able to check in and read the same things and be able to engage the kids on what they're interested in. All right, hope this was helpful. See you next time. Come back.